Hey everyone, it's Hunter, and today I'm going to be showing you a little more in-depth than I usually do on this Ranger NorthStar crew. Most of this stuff's going to apply to all the Ranger XP1000s though. Just wanted to kind of show you little trips or little tricks and tips about this model and some of the features, as well as how to use some of the things, maybe where some things that you didn't know or some things your salesman should have told you and didn't. So anyways, let's get started. So I am filming this by myself, so there will be a couple times I might have to set the camera down. But so you have your 4,500 pound winch. Comes standard on all the NorthStars. There's a little knob here on the side. You can twist that like any winch, twist it, and now this winch will pull out free spool. And then to use it again, just turn it back. So most winches do that, but that is something to note. And the magnet got caught there. This magnet is adjustable. You can pull it, push it wherever you want it. Then also this grill right here comes out for easy cleaning. So take that, pull it up, easy to get out too. Just set the camera down, that way I can put this grill back in here because it's a little hard to do one-handed. Then so moving on to the front diff. So the front diff is going to use Polaris demand drive. Right there is the fill. Right there, fill it till it spills. It's an 8mm Allen. Drain is going to be directly on the bottom right there, also an 8mm Allen. Like I said, fill it till it spills. Follow the maintenance intervals in your owner's manual. Okay, let's go ahead and take off the hood. So you're going to spin these two things right here, one there, one right there, lift up, and then kind of pull towards you. Again, hard to do with one hand. Okay, so under here, you're gonna have your washer fluid bottle here. So fill that with your washer fluid. This is the wireless winch remote box. Some of them have the winch remote, some of them don't. They had them before 2021, and then they quit doing them in 2021, but they are now bringing them back. So this is gonna be your radiator cap right there. Your air intakes for the engine and the clutch. Air intake for the air conditioner. Coolant overflow bottle. These are some, I believe they're fuses for like the heater, air conditioner, whatever. Shouldn't have to mess with those. Right here, this is the GPS for the ride command, the antenna for it. As far as like the group ride and stuff like that, it uses all that functionality there. So headlights pretty easy to get to right there. They're LED, so there's no bulbs, nothing. So it's just an unplug versus being able to turn it and swap out the bulbs. Of course, your pulse connectors, you can plug in Polaris accessories there. You can also buy the pigtails on Amazon. That way you could plug in aftermarket accessories, just splice them in, and they simply just pull off and pull out, and pretty easy to get to. And if you need to, you got your ground connection here, you got your positive connection clear back there, and you have key power right here you can splice into if you really needed to. However, don't necessarily recommend that. Your easiest way is going to be to use that pigtail. Like I said, you can get them pretty cheap off of Amazon, and they're fairly easy to use. So go ahead and set the hood back on. Right here is going to be your windshield sprayer for the wiper. Let's go ahead and get on in. So then you also have the keys for the doors. All four doors should be the same key. So as far as that goes, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know how many people really lock their doors, but just in case you want to. All right, moving on in. Okay, let's go ahead and show the dash, and I'm going to kind of show some of the features of the dash and how to adjust some of the features as well. So hold this mode button here. That'll get you to your options screen. That mode button's over here. Hold that to get here. Hit the arrows. It's going to let you change it to Celsius if you need to. Let you change the clock. To change the clock, hold the mode button again. Oops. Take that back. Just hit the mode button once. My bad. Click on 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever you want to set it to, and just use your arrows. Pretty straightforward. Again, your owner's manual will have all this stuff in it. But just thought I'd show you just in case. You can change the color of the backlight from red to blue. You can also change the brightness level if you think it's too bright, especially right at night with this blue. It probably is pretty bright, but Service, click the service button. You can reset it after you've done the oil change. We'll set it to 25 hours for the first service. And then click the exit to get back to your main menu. So the mode button is going to change the top row from engine or coolant temperature, miles per hour, RPMs, and then the arrows are going to change the middle row. There's all kinds of features down there. So you do have your Tinder port here if you want to plug in to charge the battery, and also your 12-volt accessory plug-ins down there. So let's go over the ride command screen a little bit. Hit the Polaris button down there. It's going to bring down this menu. You have your gauges, which you can also use that button for, but you can change your gauges. So hit that settings button in that right corner. Again, I'll show that right there, that settings button. You can pick which screen you're wanting to work with, and then click the data, and you can actually switch the data. So instead of that being a compass, maybe you want your engine hours over there. So click engine hours, and it's going to show that now. And then you should be able to just click around, and you can actually change the format if you wanted 2 gauges and then some lists, or you want the whole thing list, or all gauges. However you want it, it's up to you to personalize and set up. Again, on the Polaris button, you have your cameras, rear camera and front camera. If you don't have the front camera on yours, some models don't have it, you can simply just purchase that camera, and usually there's a plug-in up there, you can add it right in. Plow mode, once it loads up. So we got to have our winch all the way in. Set it in plow mode. So let's go into auto mode. Now it's in. Now as soon as I put it into low gear, this machine should drop the winch down as if it had a blade on it. I put it into reverse, it's going to pick the winch back up. And put it into park. You can change it back to manual mode. You can put it in back drag mode, so that's going to leave the blade down when you put it in reverse versus picking it back up. Or you can just hit stop. Back to the Polaris button, get to your navigation, import or export rides on here. Get to your phone settings and also your music settings, which most of that stuff you can do down here as well with an actual physical button. So you can set up your phone there and play music or whatnot. See text messages, see calls. You won't be able to answer calls. You'll still have to answer on your cell phone because there's no microphone in the Ranger. So there's your GPS. I don't have any signal in here in this all-metal building, but click that there. You can find your current ride, add a waypoint, find your past rides and waypoints, and also a group ride. Don't have a lot of that around the Midwest, but you can use that feature. So FM, AM radio, weather radio, USB, and iPod, which is in the glove box, and then the Bluetooth right there. Of course, your volume buttons there. Performance, standard, and work modes. Basically, what that's going to do is it's going to change how the throttle responds to your foot. So in work mode, it's going to be slow responding, and standard mode is kind of your everyday use. In performance mode, the throttle is going to respond pretty quick. Basically, it's changing how quick the throttle body opens relative to the position that your foot is on the throttle. So let's say it's in performance mode. I don't know the exact numbers, but if your foot was maybe pushing the throttle 40% down, in performance mode, it could be opening that throttle body 100%. So something similar to that. So anyways, the heat knobs and air conditioning knobs, pretty self-explanatory. Sorry for the bad light. This light is shining through pretty hard. But light's shining through pretty hard. And then air conditioner defrost button there. You got turf mode, 1-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive. I always tell people leave it in turf mode. Unless you need more, then use more. Okay, and then as far as the gear shifter, we got park, reverse, neutral, low, and high. If you're just driving around the yard, I always tell customers, right there where I'm at it, that light is because I've had the key on for more than 5 minutes. It turns the power steering off, and just turn the key off and back on again to reset that. So I always tell customers, drive it in low gear unless you need more. Then stop and shift it into high gear. What low gear is going to do is it's going to save you money in the long run on clutches and belts. So it will not hurt itself. It's got a rev limiter. Just drive it in low gear. If you need to go faster than 15 to 20 miles per hour, stop and put it in high gear. If you're towing or on a hill, stop and put it in low gear. Use low when you should, and you will save yourself money in the long run. There is some storage under there. Nothing that most people haven't seen, I guess, but I could show it just in case. Can't make it out to your local dealership. Pretty decent storage there. These seats don't flip up like they used to. They are bolted down but the seats over here do flip up, and there's storage actually goes all the way through there. If your machine won't go over 15 miles per hour, more than likely your driver's seatbelt is not plugged in, or that plug that goes off the seatbelt is unplugged, and it plugs in right there. Driver's seat is adjustable. Move down to the rear. Got 12-volt accessory outlet there. Got some vents for heat and air conditioning back here. Everything's pretty self-explanatory, pretty similar to the front. Storage there, batteries underneath there. Fuel tanks on the other side underneath there, but there is a little bit of storage under here. Crank windows in the rear on the NorthStars, as they don't have a power window in the rear. Move on to the rear. So moving on to the rear of the vehicle, got a simple lever here and then a gas assist shock to lift up the bed. You can add the electronic dump if you want, but it does not come standard. And then the engine is pretty easy to get to and pretty easy to change the oil on and maintenance. Spark plug's obviously right on top, very easy to get to, unlike some of the competitors. Oil fill cap right there, that gray cap. Then the drain is directly beneath, right down in there. 6mm Allen to drain that. Don't get it confused with the rear end and transmission as the 8mm, just like the front end. Then you have the air filter over there. Go ahead and check it out. The air filter is right here, so it's pretty easy to get to. It's all enclosed. Just have those clips around the edge. If you need to change it, the oil filter, kind of harder to see. I don't know if we can see it on camera, but it's right there. So you just unscrew that, and then your dipstick is also right there. Hard to see on the camera, but dipstick right there, or filter right there. If you need to change the oil, I'd recommend using the Polaris oil change kit. It comes with the exact amount of oil and the filter. Pretty easy to change. If you want to do it yourself, no problem. Rear end and transmission is all in one. The fill plug's right there, kind of hard to get to on the NorthStars because of the exhaust being in the rear. But, so 8mm Allen, pull that out. And then your drain is right there. 8mm Allen as well. So you drain that and then you use Polaris AGL on the rear end. Again, it's fill till you spill, just like the front end. So that's pretty much the orientation on the Polaris Rangers. Everything's pretty easy to work on, pretty easy to use, and overall, pretty decent machines. If you take care of it 99% of the time, it's going to be a good machine and it's going to last for you. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions or anything, please feel free to comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.